Hi, welcome everyone to the part 2 of this week's IMR for Friday 26th May. Um, so let's just jump in and we're going to look at the stocks in the Nifty Next 50, which is generally a sort of mid-cap or let's say the next level of stocks in the um, Indian equity space after the large cap multi-sector index. Uh, consists of pretty well established and diversified companies. All right, so starting in alphabetical order also now finally arranged sector-wise, etc. Let's look at autos first. As we already saw, the auto index was really doing well, hit a sort of new life high too. And what we have here is Ashok Leland having done a really great job of moving very much in the last 2 days. And on top of that, it's done that on very, very strong volumes. So clearly, this is where a sort of triple bottom is on the stock, and it's gone up like crazy, almost from 82 rupees to 92 rupees. That's over a 10% move in just 2 days. This is probably the end of a pretty long correction, all the way from, let's say, mid 2016 to almost now mid 2017. So 1 year correction, I think, sort of getting over, and probably now heading off to fresh life highs in the long term. So Ashok Leland on dips should probably be a buy. They did come out with results saying, finally it's come back to profitability. Truck sales have been improving, so that's another positive thing to keep in mind. So any dip on this stock should be used to buy if it does come back to say even 86 or 88, which I doubt, but if it does, that will be an excellent time to get in, and for long-term folks, 100, 120 is more or less on the cards. Motherson Sumi has just been going strength to strength, strength to strength, right? The stock was just not known some time back, and now it's just every day and in every week, every month, basically going on a rally, and as you can see, that rally is getting stronger and stronger and stronger, right? So that's another thing about Motherson Sumi. So really setting itself up, I think, for maybe, not maybe, very likely even 500 levels. Long-term investors, well, been amply rewarded in the last 3-4 years. Fantastic move. Likely to keep going up, but at some point in the long term, it will come back to 380, 400 levels and test, and that will be a good re-entry point for long-term folks in case you have missed this rally so far. So those are the only two stocks in the auto ancillary space in the Nifty Next. So we move on. Cement products, Sri Cement. So that's another stock which has had a fantastic rally in the last many years. Just in 2008, it was at the bottom of the correction. About 2,000 rupee stock became 500. 500 rupee stock is now 18, 19,000 rupees. So amazing move. It has basically come back to its old life support levels, life high levels, in a sense, right? So that's something to there keep in mind, and could be, it's definitely at a place of decent support, though not sure right now but whether this fall is over. Quite possible, I think it will go to maybe 16,000 odd, and that time might be a good place to re-enter. but I don't think there's any hurry to get into it at this point, right? Also on the MACD, you can see that there's a pretty wide gap between the average and the MACD line, signal line. May take a little while for this, will take a little time for this to settle down, probably consolidate around 17,000 plus minus a few hundred points for some time, so really no immediate setup there. Same thing on the DLF. So DLF it's corrected from 220 to 190. I think this would perhaps go back to 180 at least before it finds fresh strength to keep moving up again. But again, to reiterate, the multi-year 7-year downtrend is most definitely over, and when it does decide to move back up, one should definitely be in it. It could be a secular long-term trend which is building on this DLF right now. And who knows, for multi-year investors, this could be a stock which would see 300, 400 in the months and years ahead. Okay. You can also see that 3-year head and shoulder bottom, 2-year head and shoulder bottom, breakout here, and in terms of measuring implications, definitely not met that. So almost 100 rupees. So from this place, 277 rupees. That's still a long way to go, right? And in a sense, it is a test back to the neckline. That's the neckline. All right, let me mark it in yellow for future reference. Right, and it breaks out again. Test breaks out 270, 300 in a year from now, quite possible. All right. Britannia. So this is, of course, in the FMCG space, and the entire FMCG space reacted quite positively after the GST announcement about taxes and all. But that was primarily, of course, driven by ITC. But nevertheless, others just did follow. This one has definitely made a new life high, but clearly not been able to really sustain it. So we'll just have to see how it reacts. It has come back to an important support level. However, strong volumes, that's the sort of big concern, and the strong volumes means that it could even break the support of 3,300 and maybe even fall to 3,200. So really no opportunity there right now. Colgate-Palmolive, well, just languishing around, but it is, as you can see, in a 2-year consolidation, 2.5-year consolidation zone, and it's only a question of when does it break out of that zone. There is, like everything, nothing stays flat forever. It will break out soon. I mean, I don't know whether soon, sorry, but it will break out, and catching that breakout is, I guess, what it's all about. So we'll have to see how this behaves. So right now, in that consolidation. Oh, as I see this, I'm remembering a very similar pattern that I saw on the bank Nifty maybe 7-8 years back. Sort of a butterfly type thing. If you can imagine this to be on the left side, wings, the body, and a butterfly with the wings again on the right side, and sort of, or a seagull or some bird, flying bird. Birds fly, sorry. Breaks out, 1,000 rupees is what this stock is getting used to, and then it will definitely make the next move, right? Okay. Dabur, same story. Well, I thought we would see actually quite a few positive breakouts on FMCG. We are not. So it looks like the FMCG index, actually the heavyweight there with over, I think, 25-30% almost is ITC. It's because of that. So okay, need to revise the views on FMCG space. It's not really moving. As a matter of fact, it seems to be, maybe even cracking, and maybe this will go to 260, 250. We'll have to wait and watch. Imami, well, that's another stock which is just there, another FMCG stock. So, well, FMCG after FMCG, just in consolidation zone. So unless you are a quick trader and you just want 2-3%, or on the other hand you're a long-term investor and you want very, very patient, I would definitely not be recommending FMCG now. There are, as you saw, uh, the banking stocks which are doing well, and some of the auto stocks that you saw earlier, so you put your money in that. GSK consumer products, well, that's another thing which is just there, but okay, all these you never know. I mean, the breakout happens and suddenly a 5-10% move is just in flash of your eye, because of some news or result or something, and well, I think just remembered, as far as FMCG is concerned, definitely a good monsoon tends to be a kicker. So, well, we are basically at the end of May, and I've stopped watching TV a lot, but I'm guessing that the monsoon discussions are going on. Bangalore, it has been raining, so one tends to assume it's doing well everywhere else, but actually it's not. I was in Hyderabad last week, terribly hot, scorching heat, and we're definitely spoiled people in Bangalore with the temperature and the weather. But anyhow, GSK, FMCG, all of them could suddenly move in, I guess, a week or two. I don't see why it should be later than that, basically based on how the monsoons kick in. So tends to be, if the monsoons are good, just rural economy does well, and then buying power increases. Okay, Godrej consumer products. This one has, well, not just broken out, but it's amazing long-term trend. Just is, I mean, impressive. Look at that. Right, so from 2011 to now, the stock's gone from about 300 bucks to 1,800 rupees. So, and no sign of fatigue at all. No sign of fatigue at all. Looks like this is set to go to even higher levels. We'll just have to wait and watch. Okay. Okay, just marking that as blue for future reference. That was a double top there, as you can see. May come back down. Sort of did this week. Looking at the daily chart, so that was a big correction. We have a tweezer stop there, so we'll have to see, how that behaves when the time comes, whether it offers resistance or not. Looking at the volumes, all right. All right. So nothing great. Okay. Marico, well, this one looks like a sort of, yeah, it has definitely broken out. Marico looking like a flag, not a flag really, but okay, like a, in the long term, sort of pennant formation, which but what is a little curious is the fact that we've got really strong volumes, strong candles and quite erratic behavior. Not sure what's going on there. breakout of this would definitely take it to 350, 400 levels. But other than that, really, okay. Right. Just thinking whether there's something worth trading here. I don't think so. Let's move on. If I find myself thinking so hard, it's not worth it. Okay. Procter Gamble. So this again broke out, but so this is a 2-year breakout. So we are seeing some of the FMCG stocks, really breaking out. Already the evidence was there here. Strong volumes moved up, formed almost a 1-month sort of flag again, has moved up, and there's a big gap. Yep, this gap is filled. Okay, this gap is filled, and there's a gap down here. Massive gap up, a massive gap down. Wondering what happened. But this gap is filled, and I would say for quick traders, this is it's a setup worth looking at. Go long, stop loss below 7324, and once it breaks above 7617, then 8000 is very likely on PNG. Right. Okay. Now coming to, okay, still in the FMCG space, sort of United Breweries. Again, just consolidating, 1, 2, 3, 4 years of consolidation. I really don't think I would want to be part of this stock. It's really doing, nothing much. All right, so you have another FMCG stock which is really doing nothing. Okay, so there's nothing to do. McDowell's trending down, and might have sort of bottomed out here. Not sure about it. Okay, not sure whether it has bottomed out here, McDowell's. So almost half, no, yeah, just about half its life high in 2015, and quite potentially a good double bottom here on McDowell's. Looks like there's a lot of buying that's going on around this price of 1900. You can see the spike here, you can also see the spike here, and you can see a bit of volume picking up. So looks like 1900 is a very good support. 1800 to 1900. Long-term investors should probably be looking at this. There's also a double bottom in the moving averages itself. That's another, I think, pretty positive thing, and quite possible that it's going to go back to much higher levels. So that's really good setup. Finally, I think, looking, so nothing much in FMCG, even some iffy ones, if anything, Godrej consumer products. But Ashok Leland was good, Motherson Sumi okay, and then McDowell's today now looks good again for a sort of multi-month setup. Hind Petro, coming to oil, gas, energy. So, wow, not sure exactly what this was about. Some news about crude oil going down in spite of some agreements about production cuts that all the big countries have agreed to. So, uh, as an input cost, this is very favorable for Hind Petro. So big massive rise. Wow, this is just unbelievable. 800 to 867. What is this? This was 11% mover today. It's just absolutely amazing, right? So 500 rupees psychological mark, perhaps. I don't know if that's something to just think about. Excuse me. All right, so let's just put this 500, 500. All right, so one bottom, two bottoms, third bottom at 500, and then just zoom. It's really gone. So that's really something. 10% mover with a volume like this. I think this is a trade for next week. Definitely hitting new life highs. It's going, and in the longer term, 1,000 rupee stock. That's more or less sure. Uh, so yep. Okay, 1,000 rupee stock. That's for sure, and we are looking at it going all the way to. If you can be patient, year, 2 years, this stock will probably give you 100% return. Yep. No stop losses, just buy. NHPC, well, okay. This is usually not a stock I like to do anything about. It just languishes. It's been doing that for years, from 2010, right from the day it got listed. It's still below that price of 7 years. So even if it looks good right now, I just say stay away. Having said that, 2013, 5, 6 year support resistance level it has broken out of, managed to do that, come back, tested it, and it'd be interesting to see if it can break out of that now and maybe go up. If it can 29, 27, go to 33, and then who knows, goes to 35. Yeah, but somehow just don't feel it's worth the risk. Okay, let's look at Oil India Limited. Right, why is this red line here? Oh, it should be right below. Right, so with crude oil prices going down, I don't think there's anything much to say about, if anything, this should be a short. If you really want to sort of a recovery, but I wouldn't read too much into it. If it goes back to about 310, 320, then that's a stock one should think about, maybe shorting at that point and then see where that goes. Okay, so yeah, done. So this is Oil India. I think great. Actually, a good shorting candidate if it comes to about 320, and then once it breaks 300, then we'll probably go much lower. Right. Okay. Petronet. Right. This is a stock that's just broken out and has been trending quite well. Little bit of a slowdown at this point. The volumes are tapering off, MACD coming down. But yeah, if it comes down to around 420, even 430, be a good, decent buy. And this uptrend is going to just continue. No doubts about that. You can see how came to the trend line, continued. I would think 500 is a sort of next logical stop for the stock. One should just keep accumulating it if one hasn't. PNB, right, so finally some public sector banks. We said in the first IMR part 1 how they were coming back to multi-year supports, and that's exactly where PNB is. So from the 2009 level, this support is what we're talking about, very important multi-year support. As you can see, it is really there, and on top of that, 200-day moving average is a cluster of long-term moving averages, all there. A little bit of you'll have to be a little bit of a brave heart, that's for sure, but yep, looks okay. You've got a sort of hammer, no confirmation yet, but it's at a 150 rupee level. If you're willing, you can look at a stop loss below 140, about 138, and if you're patient, it probably steadily go back to 170, maybe even 180. All right. Then Bajaj Finance, so housing finance companies, right? So this is another one which has been an amazing stock, gone from 50 rupees to 1,300, and Yep, it will break its life high, I think, in the coming week, and 1,500. What that would definitely be the next target for Bajaj Finance. Bajaj Financial Services. Uh, this one definitely a sort of mixed bag, I think. Sorry, Bajaj Finance. I mentioned housing finance, not housing finance. General NBFC finance. Right, housing finance is lower. Alright, so this looks like a downtrend flag. I haven't seen one for quite some time, and I think it's going to just go lower. So we had a fall from 4,600 to 4,000. Now it's sort of consolidating. Did a hammer, but I'm more inclined to believe that this perhaps if it breaks 3,900, it could easily go down all the way to 3,500. Right. So, yep, quite possible that is what is going to happen. ICICI Pru Life, relatively new listing, as sort of a double top there. Breaks 400, then much lower levels. Okay. $380, yep, this is a stock which is possibly worth shorting if it breaks 400. Then $380 is a possibility, right? Okay, so you could even short it now with a stop loss around 408, 409. I think 380. Second. Yep. Look at the volumes building up on the lower end. Good shorting candidate, right? So, which was the other one that we saw? Oil India, shorting candidate. ICICI Pru Life, shorting candidate. And there was one more. I'm forgetting. All right. Okay. Yeah, the Judge Financial Services, possibly a shorting candidate. This sort of flag. All right. Now coming to LIC Housing Finance. All of them have been doing well. Last I saw. Okay. So clearly this was just a correction, right? You could also have made it out in the volume picture, and going from 725 to about 673, and then now moving up again on good volumes. This is back to 725 levels. So this is LIC Housing Finance for you. So back to 725 and could all the way go to 750, maybe even 800. Right. So definitely both an investment and a trading opportunity here in LIC Housing Finance. Stop loss, if you need one, is below 666. Power Finance Corporation. All right. Okay. So here's the thing about PFC. We're looking at the long term. This might actually be a good opportunity for long-term investors. So looking at just a sort of plain chart with volume analysis on this, and essentially this stock is in a resistance zone, obviously. It's somewhere there. It has come back. Volumes have improved actually, though, even though there's been a sell-off this week. And the thing is that this is a sort of 8-9 year consolidation, which I think would break now. You also have, for the longer term person, this push, sort of an uppish push, if you get what I mean. And it has broken this trend line. There's no doubt about that. Or if I were to, right? But it will probably, go back up at some point. Now, that's always a tough question, when, but it will. And if you are a long-term patient person, you would keep your eye on this. And oh, interesting, looking at the daily chart, let's go to that. Looking at the daily chart, there's been definitely a big sell-off yesterday, and then some amount of buying that's happened today. Comes to a support zone of around 140. Has been bought at 140 over 2010, 2014, 2015. The reason I'm spending so much time here is on this chart is that possibly a pretty good opportunity here, possibly. Okay, and alright, I'll stick my neck out and say buy this for long-term folks. Stop loss below 132. 160, 165 breaks, then this is easily a 200 rupee stock. And on top of that, this is going to go much higher, much higher, and become one, who knows, 250, 300 easily. I mean, if you even look at it as a very long-term, multi-year type consolidation, and then this is like 60 to 160, 100 rupees. And in terms of just measuring implications, it's another 100 rupees. If it goes up, it could go down, but the thing is, if it goes down, just keep adding to your position and just be very patient on PFC. It'll reward. REC, well, okay, there you have it. So REC, what, this went under a stock split or what? Yeah, it looks like it did some time back. So what's happened with REC is essentially what I think could happen with PFC at some point in the future. You can see here a long-term consolidation, then a massive move that has happened 140 to 220 this year. Well, that's not massive, but okay. Right, bit of a concern here right now on REC that we have a rounding top, and that's definitely not something we want to be. It's got all the textbook things about going around, and if it breaks this zone, which it probably might, then we could see this really maybe come back even to 160 levels, right, which is okay, sorry, it's already at its old life high of 2014, double triple top sort of. Okay, so this would come down from 220 to about 190. Maybe it comes to 180 also, don't know. And then we can see how it goes from here, not really sure. Hmm. Yeah, just thinking. Sorry for the silence. Just about how. Yeah, so look at this in the monthly chart. I mean, this one crazy thing with AMI broker. Just so consolidated for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years. Good volume pickup in the 2016, again 2017. For somebody who is patient, this stock is going to reward, and it'll for long term. Yep, this has gone from 85 to, let's say, just be a little conservative, to 160, so 80 rupees, 250. Yeah, that's about 20% return from current prices, and I probably will overshoot that quite a bit. Right, so yep, okay, that's it. So PFC is not yet broken out that way. REC has, and is actually giving you, I think, a second chance to get in, and at a cool almost 5-10%, 5% lower. Just watch this level. Uh, it's a sort of iffy thing. This volume at the bottom on the downside is what's really keeping me a little concerned. But nevertheless, if it does even break down and you have bought, just hold on tight, add more, and 6 months to a year from now, 250, 300, very possible. All right, Shriram Transport Finance. Okay, no comment on this. Sort of really not a great setup. It's doing something, but nothing that says that we should act on it right now. So I'm going to give that a pass. Coming to capital goods. So, wow. Okay, ABB, more or less, I think hmm, it's on its breakout path. ABB, looking at the monthly chart, it's just a matter of time. It will break out. Right. Okay, it'll require a lot of patience. So 2 years did nothing. Now trying to do something, but 2000 on this stock is just a matter of time, and then definitely much higher. If you must have a stop loss, then short term would be below 1385, but it could go all the way anyway till 1200, 1300, and then turn back up. Don't know, right? Okay. VEL, Bharat Electronics, so again another stock which has been trading sideways for some time, and well, only it is sort of round. Okay, so this one is good. So unlike what we saw in PFC, not PFC, REC, where you saw volumes building up on the downside. In BEL, you can see that it didn't really go up, and then you got some nice green candles. So more like a consolidation rather than a reversal. In BEL, good buying opportunity, stop loss below 163, 161. First target 183, and once 183 breaks, then 200 and higher. Oh, similar in BHEL, right? Looks like the entire thing is doing rounding tops and then just bouncing ahead. Interesting to watch how we behave. Okay, so this is BHEL. Good stop loss below 146, 144. First target 170, 178, and then 190, 220. Cummins, oh, what happened here? Something definitely cracked. Massive sell-off from 1080 to 900. Oh, that's more than 10%. Might be a short rather than a good long. I better just wait and watch. For those who are, if it goes above 1975, then buy it. Otherwise, goes there and sort of struggles at 1960, 970. Good place to short at 975 as a stop loss, and perhaps it then goes back to, goes down further to 880, right? Siemens, right. Long term, right, nothing compelling as such in Siemens. So I'll just give this a pass. Though as a trader, yeah, 1500 back to its life high seems very much on the cards. OFSS, no comment, just consolidating. If there's anything in stocks like this, you want to be selling options at much higher and lower strikes and nothing else. Hindustan Zinc, alright, gone from 300 to 230. Again, good buying is happening. Good place to buy. Stop loss below 222. Could easily go to 260, 280, and then higher levels. It's a old life high that it has come back down to, and yeah, looks like it's not going to break it, though a little too obviously too early to say, but this is a good confirmation, good reversal. One could go long on it with a stop loss below 225. JSW Steel, so alright, so again after a multi-year sideways move, broke out here at 139 and has gone in about a year from 139 to 200, consolidating, likely to move up further. Once it breaks past these levels, it should go maybe 250, 300, but probably be a slow move, nothing exciting. NMDC, wow, massive correction. I would think back to 105. even though there's been good volume today, would not want to be in too much of a hurry to buy it at this point. So pass, neither a short, neither a long. Steel Authority of India, okay. Again, nothing really compelling except that it's come to a good support level, 56. Yeah, you could go long on this with the stop loss below 55 or a little deeper at 54.10. Once it breaks 61, then very likely to go to 66 or even higher. VEDL, Vedanta. Alright, so big massive volumes yesterday, today. Sort of double bottom, that too also on the 200-day moving average. 220 seems to be a good support. Breaks 245, 250, then easily is going to go to 270. This is definitely a good trader setup. Stop loss below 233, 234. Breaks out of 245 easily at 270, 280 levels. All right. Okay. Kerala Healthcare. Wow. I'm not sure. So this is definitely doing something very different from the rest of the Pharma pack. Looks like massive recovery today. As you saw in the Pharma index, just falling like 9 pins off a cliff. This is a big, massive bullish Marubozu. If you have to, yes, you can take a long on this. Stop loss below 412 or 400. Probably may not break below 400 now. And back to 500, and then we review. Divi's Lab, there you have it. So this is one of the ones which was just dragging this down. So the bad story continues. 1300 came here, just unable to go there. From 1300 just dropped to 775, consolidated there for about 2-3 months, and then cracked again. From 775 to 650, 630, then consolidate for 2 months, and then it is cracking again. So this is a big massive correction. And again, I do not think in the long-term picture this correction is over. Looks like it will continue and deepen, and my at least 500 first, and then we'll review whether 400 is possible, right? 500 is definitely possible. 400 also is something that could happen. All right. Glaxo, 2,400. So this one is also breaking down and breaking down further. 2,400 broken. Well, so if you needed shorting opportunities, there are definitely plenty. 2,400, at least 2,200, and then maybe even 2,000 is a possibility. Only good support at around 22,000. I think this stock is definitely going there. Okay, so Divi's, Glaxo, Glenmark. That's another one which has just, wow, what a crack. My God, 900 to 600 and just falling apart. Wow. No sign of any uh, relief. Some news and then it has just 11, 5, 12. Yep, just falling. Looks like a bottomless pit right now, but has come to some support zone at around 500. There is, I would say, some decent support that one should, maybe it will become a really good opportunity at that time. Just gotta wait and watch. Matt, this is going to take a long and very painful long time to recover. Right, so this is what's driving down a lot of pharma stocks sector after. Right, so this is, well, a refreshing change. Pyramid Enterprises, wow, it's more than doubled in a year. 1000 has become 2700. This continues to, gather strength. So 1000 rupees psychological level breakout in April 2016, and then it's just gone strength to strength. So 1000 became 2000, 2000 became 1400, and then it's just gone up again. All right. Yeah, go to 2800 and then perhaps sort of buying that you're seeing here. Definitely something very, very strong going on in this stock. Yep. So headed higher. That's for sure, no doubt about it. How much higher? Little tough to say right now, but these are the sort of stocks when you feel you've missed the boat. This was a good time to get in when it broke out at about 1900, and then if you're holding on, you'll be pretty happy. But if you miss that, then it's a real bummer. Right. Torrent Pharma, is this come to a triple bottom? Quite possible. Can't rule that out. We'll just have to wait and watch. Alright, so given all the drama that we have seen, wouldn't be in too much of a hurry to buy this, but on its own, looks like there was a demerger here in 2013. Alright, some torrent something, 900 became 400. And then the stock has been steadily rising. 400 has become 1600. And yeah, there you go. So very interesting. Triple bottom. Alright, and sort of hammer doji today. Alright, punters amongst us, so you could take a go long on this with the stop loss at 1194. If it pans out and does well, you'd really be happy, which could really happen. Alright. Alright. Then Container Corporation of India. Why do I have these colors? I'm not sure. I'm looking at it after a very long time. That's why. These are not my colors. Looks like it's formed a flag is what I would say. Nice double bottom at about 850. Just shot up, and in the long term it has formed a flag. You can see that better on a weekly chart. Breaks 1200, then 1400, 1500 in the next 2-3 months is what's going to very likely happen with container corp. All right, Indigo. So we've seen this pattern in many of the BHEL, BEL stocks, right? BHEL and what you're seeing in Indigo is more or less the same thing. A rounding top sort of broke down, but then managed to go back up. If it does, then back to 1100, 1500, and then back to 1350. Nothing very compelling, but yeah, if you have it, you could hold on to it. Idea, I think it's better to just get rid of this stock now. Really not doing anything. I'm not even sure why it's in the index anymore, but well, it is. Looks like a downtrend flag. Falls from 87 to 77, goes to 82, and then maybe back to 72, right? That will be what idea does. And yeah, a lot of event risk with that Vodafone idea merger and all those things. Havels, so this is long multi-year up move. All right, has broken down a bit. Little iffy. It came to one good sort of support level here. There you have it, right around 440, and then probably going back to 500, 520. Let's see. All right. All right. Nothing particular on this. Titan, well, more rounding tops. I was definitely not expecting to find so many rounding type patterns in this IMR or in this phase of the market. So I'm wondering whether there's something there that the market is trying to tell us. Not really a great particular rounding top, but sort of, yeah. And looks like more wants to break down than go up. It looks like the stock is more likely to come to 410, 420 rather than go above 500. 500 definitely a strong resistance on Titan at this point, and doesn't look really set to move up strongly here at this time. Okay, so we'll pass on that. UPL, alright, so that is definitely going higher. United Phosphorus, I think. Okay. Yep, this is going to 1000 for sure. Came back after breaking out of 745, went to 850, came back, tested 750, and then it is now uh, tested the old life high and then going back up. Really little curious about this very, very large volume, some sort of drama activity, what's going on. But yep, at 850 breaks, 900,000 is very much on the cards. And then lastly, Pidilite, it is a stock which is set to go higher, and once it breaks 780, it's 1000 rupees in this year, very likely on Pidilite, right? All right, so which brings us to the end of this IMR, a little bit of a surprise IMR, I must say, in the sense that almost opposite of what, not almost, but very different from what we saw last time. the mid-cap stocks, definitely a lot of weakness, a lot of rounding tops. Large cap stocks are definitely leading the way, no doubt about it. You could more or less just have blindly put in your money in the large caps last week and you'd have made money. This time in the mid caps, a very different story. Found actually more shorting opportunities than going long opportunities, and I just have to be very careful, and I'm wondering whether this divergence in the market is going to get stronger and stronger, and we are actually setting ourselves up for inevitable correction that has to happen at some point, right? All right, so with that, coming to the end of this IMR, on a more, I think, sedate note and a note of caution as to what the next few weeks might bring. Some good opportunities in the FMCG in the sense of potential breakouts. Other stocks are also there. The one only clear one that I can remember offhand here is Ashok Leyland. So have a look at that and keep tabs on that. And like I said, invest in that too. Right. So even if you find one good one per week, that easily sets us up for good multi-percent moves per year, and that should still slow and steady create a substantial amount of wealth going forward. Right, great. So with that, coming to the end of this IMR, thank you very much for your participation. Do send in your feedback, and I look forward to having you 1 week from now, next Friday. Thank you and goodbye.